I asked you what characters or events you'd like to see me cover on How It Could Work, where I take a character or a story arc and adapt them to the best of my ability to a movie adaptation, like what they should do if they were ever to take something and turn it into a movie. Well, you guys suggested Aquaman, and I really like that pick, so I'm going to go with that. Why do I like it? Because to this day, I still claim that Aquaman is one of the most underrated comic book characters of all time, and if you do him just right, you can make an awesome movie out of him. So, that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to pitch to you how an Aquaman movie could work. So, let me set the stage. First, we open up on a really small ship 50 miles off the coast of China. It's in a torrential downpour, like a massive storm. There's no hope for survival. And off in the distance, one of the sailors goes, "Look, there's something over on the horizon," and something's bulleting at them super fast. Like, it's not a missile, it's going faster than a regular torpedo or missile underwater. Sure enough, it's Aquaman. He's here to save the day. They don't think anybody can save them now. Aquaman is just like, don't worry guys, I'm here. Why did I set it 50 miles off the coast of China? Well, the plain and simple answer is Aquaman is kind of ruler over all the water in the earth. We need to show how big his domain is, his area that he needs to cover. Like, Batman covers just Gotham City, Superman just covers Metropolis for the most part. Aquaman, however, has to cover all the earth that's covered by water. So, having it in China would be a great introduction to, wow, this guy really does have a lot of responsibilities on his plate. So, he needs to get these men onto the shore, but he's just one man. So he calls in, this is going to sound ridiculous, but if you do it just right, it may actually be believable. He calls in some gigantic whales. Now don't completely lose me yet. Notice there's two gigantic humpback whales that show up in Man of Steel after Clark Kent saves the oil rig. You could do something like that, those two, because basically, think about it, they're two gigantic buses that could shuttle these passengers to shore. So Aquaman saves these sailors or whatever and brings them to shore via some gigantic whales. And we also get an introduction as to basically Aquaman can control fish. They are his people in the land of aquatic land, I guess, because it's not really Atlantis, that's his home world, which we return to now that Aquaman has saved the day and we get a little bit of an introduction to the character. When we go to Atlantis, he's summoned to a council meeting, and the council, however, is not too happy that he saved these humans. You see, they are at war with the human race. The events of Man of Steel, in which the world engine, which was created by Zod to basically destroy the Earth and terraform it, yes, it did a lot of damage to the Earth, but it did even more damage to the water and basically to undersea life, and that has drastically impacted Atlantis, and this has put them at great odds with the humans that don't really know that it wasn't the humans' fault. They've been at war for a very long time, with the humans actually not even realizing that they've been at war. The Atlanteans are none too happy about the causes that have happened via that world engine, because if you think back on it, one of those landed directly in the water. So any damage that it's been doing has been destroying what life Aquaman has known. And he's just like, no, we can't attack the humans. I'm part human, because he is. His father was Tom Curry, a man who owns a lifehouse off the shore, who had a fling with basically his mother, who is an Atlantean. And so he's just like, no, you can't do that. I'm half human. That's not right. The humans have no quarrel with us because they barely even know of our existence. They don't know of us. But Aquaman's half-brother Orm is very much we need to go to war. He is bloodthirsty. He wants violence. He wants war. He wants to be general. He wants to slaughter everyone to show how much dominance he can instill. And so Aquaman's like, no, Orm, you're crazy. We can't do that. Thankfully, he gets some help though. Aquaman's mother chimes in and says, no, we have no quarrel with the humans. This is wrong. We should not be going to war with them. After this council meeting, Aquaman returns back to his home to meet up with his wife Mera and his very small son. He begins to lament to his wife, who will be played by Amber Heard in the movie, that he really fears that there's this war coming and he will be unable to stop it, even though he's the king of Atlantis, which he is. He has this great power, but he knows when push comes to shove, he might not be able to stop this coming war that may be coming between the Atlanteans and the humans. The next morning, after he's had this discussion with Mera, Aquaman and several of his crew go out to stop a minor Aquaman villain, whichever one you want, but not one of the major ones like Ocean Master or Black Manta, because we don't really want to waste an appearance from them. Some minor Aquaman villain has been attacking a military vessel off the coast of California. So they are just like, nope, we gotta help them. So you got Aquaman, Orm, and a couple of his other big soldiers to help him out in this battle. And this is the first taste we really get to see Aquaman in action, and he kicks a lot of butt. Something people don't take into account is Aquaman is a skilled fighter. He's got that trident that can destroy anyone and summon any aquatic creature within his domain. He's a killer fighter and basically invulnerable and super strong. This is the first time we get to see him in combat. Think along the lines of the military infiltration scene in the first Thor. He's that kind of guerrilla warfare, yet a more tactical and leader-minded individual. So he quickly overcomes these foes while protecting this American military base. American military is just like, thanks, you owed us one, but who are you guys? We really don't know. And so Aquaman really didn't take into account that the humans have no idea who they are, and so they brought up that major issue. They return home to Atlantis to find out that his mother has been murdered, and they don't know by whom. So, of course, this sends the entire city of Atlantis into a frenzy, and they begin to point the finger at Aquaman, saying, if you weren't too busy saving the humans that didn't even know we existed, we would still have a queen. We would still have your mother, the person that kept us all together. So the council assembles, again, basically stating that this was an act of war. And Aquaman's like, no, they said they don't know who we are. But the council does not believe Aquaman. And so they vote him out of power. And Orm has taken power. His half-brother has taken over Atlantis and declares war on the humans. Aquaman is incredibly frustrated. He knows there's nothing he can do. So he talks to Mera and says, I have to go figure this out. I need to go talk to my father. He goes ashore to meet with his dad at the lighthouse, and he's just like, I'm sorry she's gone, and I don't know what to do. The apocalypse is coming. There's going to be an all-out war between the humans and the Atlanteans, and it's not going to end well tomorrow morning. And his dad gives him some good fatherly advice, gives him one of those classic Man of Steel dad speeches. Basically, you're always going to be my son, and I know this is going to work out just fine in the end. However, during the planning process that night of Orm trying to get his troops lined up, Mera overhears that he was the one that ordered the plan to assassinate his own mother. Yes, he did not kill his mom, because as you remember, he was busy with Aquaman defending that military boat. However, he was still the one that ordered the hit on her, because he knew it would put him in power, and it could spark the war against the humans and the Atlanteans. It would be that one spark. So Mera's like, oh boy, I really gotta tell Aquaman this. So she goes to the lighthouse because she knows that's the one place Aquaman would be if he's not in Atlantis. He's talking to his father. And she's just like, dude, Orm has lost his mind. He's nuts. You gotta do something. And so Aquaman's just like, I can't do it. I'm one guy against Orm and an army. And she's just like, no, you're not just one guy. You're king of Atlantis. You are the king of Atlantis. And so with this new sense of vigor and purpose, he goes back to Atlantis to face his brother. And his brother just stares at him and goes, you're one man, what can you do against me? And so he summons his whole army. And Aquaman's like, okay, I see you have your army of Atlanteans. Don't think I don't have mine. And so he summons give it about 50 or 60 great white sharks and other aquatic creatures, and this is where you can really show off some great CGI of there could be some great aquatic creatures we didn't even know existed dating back to the prehistoric days, and if you use them as tanks, Orm doesn't stand a chance. So there's still some guys that are like, nope, Orm, you were an okay leader, we're gonna peace out. But there's some that still stay loyal to him, and so they're trying to face these creatures that basically are acting as a blockade, so they do not invade Earth. They don't attack the humans. And Aquaman has to narrow down just to Orm. It's gonna be a one-on-one. So the two of them lock in an epic fight, and they're just going at it. They're doing a fantastic sword fight with the trident or whatever Orm uses as a weapon. And the whole time Aquaman's just like, how could you do this? How could you kill our mother? Orm, what are you doing? He's like, I'm not Orm. Orm died the minute our mother died. I am the Ocean Master. I am not Orm any longer. And basically, he chops off Aquaman's hand in combat. However, this only momentarily slows down Aquaman as he sees Orm going after his newborn son. Aquaman picks up his trident and says, "You will not touch my son," and goes right for Orm and takes him out completely. Now, he doesn't kill him, but he makes sure Orm will never come back or attack Atlantis for the time being. Now, with a new hook hand, which, I'll be perfectly honest, that's just because I loved it in Justice League and I would love to see it in the big screen. But it gives him more this renewed purpose of, I need to protect Atlantis, because if I don't, who's going to stop us from all-out war with the humans? And he basically vows to become a great middleman of, he's already had this connection with the humans, being a member of the Justice League, which will come out before Aquaman. But he's like, I need to be a good ambassador, but yet still be a good ruler to my people, so this will never happen ever again. And so with his wife, his older son now, a new hand, and a new renewed sense of life, Aquaman reclaims his throne of Atlantis to become the Atlantean king. Now, what do you think about my idea for an Aquaman movie? Do you think I'd ever fly, or in this case, swim on the big screen? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like what you're seeing and want to see more, subscribe to the channel, or find me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at 17 Movie Reviews. Stay sharp, movie guys and gals!